Your Honor, this is case number 237 on the calendar in the matter of Peterson versus Peterson. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated.
Mr. Peterson.
Yes.
This is your grandma.
Yes.
Your grandma says that she made some loans to you while you were living with her.
Yes.
Over $3,000?
Yes.
And you say that there was never a loan, and if there was, you gave her some money in cash, and you bartered for some of it by taking care of her and doing her landscaping.
Yes.
When did you go and live with your grandmother?
It was back in February 2003.
Why?
Well, due to divorce situations with my parents, my dad needed a room so my sisters could live with him, and I had to go.
You weren't having trouble with your father, were you?
No.
So when you realized that you had to find another place to live, did you call your grandmother?
No.
Well, how did it come about that you went to live with her?
I went on my own, and I was in my car for a little bit.
You were in your car?
Yes.
Why were you in your car?
Because I didn't want to beg anyone. I didn't want to ask anyone to do anything.
How were you supporting yourself?
I was going store to store with getting pop cans.
Well, why weren't you working?
I was previously laid off from another job.
How long hadn't you worked?
Since October of '02.
Well, maybe that's why your father told you to get out.
No.
Your grandmother said yes. So your grandmother volunteered to take you in?
I had a cell phone that was about to expire and stuff. She called me on it and was wondering where I was. She didn't want me to... She was basically saying, I don't want you to live on the car. I thought you were going to come live with me. I was like, okay, I will.
Is that what happened?
No, I hadn't had any contact with Justin. Nobody had. And I was very worried about him. And he showed up on my doorstep. I just accepted that he would come and stay with me.
Now, tell me about these loans that you claim you made to your grandson.
Okay, he got a job through some friends of mine.
Great. Starting when?
I'm not positive.
February 5th.
Great.
03.
So practically right away?
Yes.
It was before I moved in.
Go ahead.
No, you already lived with me, Justin. Anyway, he owed quite a few bills. His car needed work. He was driving without a license, without insurance, and he was picked up once that I know of, and his car taken away, and I think they took him away too, and his father got him out. So I asked him to make a list of what he owed, and we worked out together what the loan would be. And I have a copy of the original check was $3,500.
Yeah, I see it, please. So he sat down and made a list of what all of his bills were.
Yes, and we supposedly paid off everything he owed.
So that was in July of 2003. You paid off all your debts.
Yeah, that I knew of.
Great. How much did you pay back?
I started paying small increments. Work was starting to get unstable. There was one time where I had a layoff period of 6 weeks.
And what did you do during that 6-week period?
I used unemployment, but it was very little, and I was barely holding on to keeping the insurance that I had.
How much rent were you paying to your grandmother?
$200 a month.
Is that right?
Yes, however, the first 3 months, I didn't ask him to pay anything so he could save money to get an apartment.
So how did you pay her back?
For those first 3 months, all the money that I couldn't save, I was putting towards what was being collected upon me from collection agencies, Verizon, and other companies. And I was basically being swallowed and just trying to keep up.
Well, that's why she gave you this $3,500
Yeah,
to
that came 3
consolidate
months
everything
later.
so you could pay it all off and then pay her back regularly in a smaller increment. How much did you pay her back?
Well, I've got records here of what I have paid her.
Can I see it, please?
Yes. This is when I recently got employed, and like agreements we made verbally that I would pay what I can when I could, and at least the minimum.
Well, you have down here $720.
Yes.
And I see that the payments didn't start here until May of 2004.
Yeah. That was
Why is that?
Well, that was when I moved to Umatilla for work.
But, Your Honor, also, I got one of the bills, the statements from the credit card company, and there was a $250...
What credit card company? You gave him a check.
Yes, I did, but it's from a Chase Manhattan Bank. It's from a credit card company.
I see. So they took this right off a credit card.
Yes.
Go ahead.
I got a $250 charge on the credit card, and he said that he had a bill that he had overlooked. I had given him a signed check from the credit card company because they send you blank checks.
So he said you had signed the check and gave it to him?
Yes, he did. And
Did you?
no, I didn't.
You mean he told you that you had signed the blank check?
Yes. And anyway, I didn't argue with him because he's always right. So I called the credit company and asked them for a copy of the check because I knew I hadn't given him a check and signed it.
Can I see it, please?
It was a check that he had forged. And he had said, well...
Just a second. What do you have to say about that, Justin?
I'd gotten a notice from Verizon for my cell phone that had expired, and I had $350 still left in the bank, and I needed a little extra to do that. I called her on the phone. She was kind of slurring her words, which I figured she'd been drinking, and she said, okay.
So she is correct that you forged her name to the check.
I signed it, yes.
You forged her name to the check.
Yes, I signed it.
She didn't turn you in, did she?
No.
When did you tell your grandmother exactly how much you wrote out this check for?
Afterwards, she confronted me about it later. I figured she already knew because I'd called her. And
when did you
she
leave
got
your grandmother's
honored.
house?
Late January, early February of '04.
Tell me about that.
She was in Palm Springs, and we were having troubles. Every time I'd come home, it was Justin, 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 and I'm just trying to get by.
Justin, 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 what?
She would confront me about, you need to do more, you need to do more, you need to pay more, and it's like, I'm trying. And what we agreed upon was making at least the minimum as long as there wasn't a negative mark.
Well, you hadn't paid anything, Justin. You showed me what you paid. You hadn't been paying anything. Not a minimum, not anything, for months.
I had also done work for her, which she agreed upon.
So tell me about that, Justin.
Well, she was complaining about the lawn. I offered, you know, Grandma, since I'm not able to get you as much, I could do the lawn for you. I could have it done in one day.
Try not to look at the walls, Justin. Try to look at me when you're testifying.
I'm just recalling, Your Honor.
Well, try to recall while you're looking at me.
Okay. Well, I was trying to find
No,
ways
you're
I
right. Are you cross-eyed?
could... No.
Then look at me.
I was trying to get the balance covered and stuff, and I knew I was getting close to missing more. And I went to...
Right here,
I went
Justin.
to a friend. I was just overlooking this.
You don't have to look at anything. Tell the truth. You should be able to remember it.
I am.
Good.
I went and purchased a bunch of sod. My buddy had come over too, Chris.
What month was this in, Justin?
I don't remember the exact month.
Well, I
it was
would
like
like you
July
to-
or August
Of what year?
of '03.
I want you to think about whether it was July or August of '03.
I just remember it was a really hot day.
And what you're telling me, Justin, is you had fallen behind in the payments.
I was coming close to, yes.
But previous to that, you had made the payments.
Yes.
How many payments had you made previous to that?
Well, I'd given her bigger amounts of money, like $200, $250. One time she wrote, well, I gave her the checks. And
So
I
that
told
was
her-
before you
Yeah.
were doing the landscaping?
Yes.
All right, now let me explain something to you, Justin, my dear. According to what you just said to me, and I want to make sure that I'm getting this right, Officer Byrd, Justin says that he did some work for his grandmother in order to pay off his debt to her. Some landscaping work in July or August of 2003. He said that previous to that, he had been up to date in his payments. That's what you said.
Yes.
That's what he said. My problem with that, Officer Byrd, could you just take a look at this check and tell me the date of the check of his grandmother's for $3,500?
7/10/2003.
So what you're telling me, Justin, is before your grandmother gave you this check for $3,500 in mid-July of 2003, you started paying the credit card company back? Is that what you're telling me?
I made a plural mistake, yes.
You made a big mistake! Because you may be trying to get over on me that something's wrong with your grandmother's mind, but I got news for you. Nothing is wrong with mine. And certainly nothing is wrong with Officer Petrie Hawkins Byrd. So when somebody lends you money and someone extends themselves, puts money on a credit card so that you can have a clean slate, because that's what your grandmother did, you don't turn around and kick them in the behind by standing there and telling a whole bunch of lies. Do I make myself clear?
Yes.
Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $3,200. That's all. Get out.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I'm not mad at my grandson. I'm hoping this will help him to mature and be responsible for himself.
I tried being good with my grandma. I did have problems.
The world doesn't owe you a living. You've got to pay your way.
Trying to look like a saint who got screwed.
I hope that it helps him to mature and be responsible for himself.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Perry versus Bartle, step forward.
Homemaker Lynn Perry is suing Travis and Michelle Bartle for the cost of vet bills. Lynn says Michelle's 12-year-old son, Matthew Fry, beat on her cat with a stick.
Miss Perry, Mr. and Mrs. Bartle's son injured your cat with a stick, and you want them to pay the vet bills. And Mr. and Mrs. Bartle seem to say it was the cat's fault because the cat was out running loose, and the cat should not have been running loose. That's your defense, is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
You, over here.
Have a seat up here, okay?
So, you watch me. Don't take your eyes off me for a second. Your son told you the following story, which I gather from your answer, that he was riding down the street at his grandmother's house, and a dog was chasing him in the middle of the street.
Yes, ma'am.
And he had a stick, and he accidentally hit the cat.
That's what he told me.
And that's what you believe.
He told me that the bike hit the cat, and then the stick hit the cat, too, yeah.
Oh. Now, your cat was seriously injured.
Yes, ma'am.
What kind of a cat is it?
She's actually a mutt. She's pure white, one blue eye, one gray eye, 16 years old.
Managed to get through 16 years before she met this young man.
Yes, ma'am.
What kind of injuries did she have?
She's lost some sight in her left eye, and she was bleeding from her nose and her mouth when the incident happened.
So she was hit in the face with a stick.
Yes, ma'am.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Now, you want to tell me how you hit this cat with the stick?
Yes, ma'am.
And I want to hear the truth from you.
Yes, ma'am.
You say yes, ma'am. You make sure you believe yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Lynn Perry says 12-year-old Matthew Fry beat on her pet cat with a stick. Matthew claims it was an accident.
You have photographs of the cat?
I do.
I'd like to.
This one's
So
2
far, you're
years
doing
ago.
very well.
This
Don't take
one's-
your eyes off me.
This one's 2 years ago. She's fat and healthy. This one's current.
2 years ago. Current.
Big white cat.
She was a big white cat. She was about over 20 pounds 2 years ago. Currently, she's about 6.5 pounds.
You're 12 years old?
Yes.
You do okay in school?
Yeah.
When did you go to your grandmother's house that day, Matthew?
We went over there that morning.
Who went over there?
Me and my two sisters.
Now, there came a point at some time that you were outside on your bike.
Yeah.
Who were you riding with, yourself or with your sisters?
I was by myself. It was after I took my sisters to their friends.
And about how far was that? A block, 2 blocks?
About a block.
Did you have any trouble taking your sisters over to their friend's house?
No.
Did you have any trouble coming back?
The
Look at me.
dog.
Look at me.
I was getting chased by the dog.
Oh,
on the
that's
way
what
to
you're
my
just
friend's.
a dog. Was it a big dog?
It was a bulldog. It was about up to my knees.
And where did that big bulldog start to chase you, Matthew?
Right as the stop sign after I was coming down the hill, I was going to turn down and go down the hill, and it started chasing me.
And you didn't get off your bike from the time the bulldog started to chase you until the time you hit the cat. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
So you tell me when you got this stick. Is not an answer. Look right here.
I left with the stick from my grandma's.
You did?
Yes.
Why would you leave carrying a stick?
The dog was chasing me.
No.
on the way down.
The dog didn't start chasing you until you got to a stop sign, Matthew.
Yeah, from my sister's friend's house.
That's not what you told me. You told me that the dog started to chase you when you were making a turn at a stop sign.
Yes, ma'am. Or right as I take the right turn, he started chasing me.
Right, and you didn't get off the bike. So if the dog was chasing you, and I asked you, when did you get this big stick?
before I left the house.
Why would you start carrying a stick on your bicycle?
Because he's bit me before, and I didn't want to get bit again. And
Matthew, I don't believe you.
My mom was...
Matthew, I don't believe you. You may have told that story to your mother and father about the big dog chasing you and the stick, but I don't believe it. You understand what I'm saying to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, you want to tell me how you hit this cat with the stick?
Yes, ma'am.
And I want to hear the truth from you.
Yes, ma'am.
You say yes, ma'am. You make sure you believe yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Go ahead.
I was riding down the hill with the stick in my hand because that's when the dog was chasing me.
Yeah, how big a stick was it?
It was a broomstick.
A broomstick?
Broke in half.
Go ahead.
I was riding down through there, and I was looking back. That's the time that the dog was chasing me. And I kept on looking back, and he wasn't there. And I turned around. I didn't know what it was until I hit it. And I saw that it was a cat. I really didn't mean to, but... So,
I still don't know how it got hit in the face with the stick.
I was riding down through there, and it was in the middle of the road. And I looked back, and I looked forward, and I hit it. And
with the stick?
Yes, ma'am.
Baloney. Go sit down. It's not true. It's not the way it happened.
Well, he told me that he hit the cat with the bike and then the stick, and the bike has freestyle pegs on the front.
He
and
was lying to you. He's a fibber. I had 10 grandchildren. Most of them ride bicycles. None of them ride a bicycle carrying a broomstick. None of them. And I raised 5 children. None of them ride their bicycle that they're supposed to hold on to with 2 hands, carrying a broomstick in one hand, unless they're looking for trouble. You got me?
Yes, ma'am.
You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
They may have believed you momentarily. Maybe they still do. I don't believe you, Matthew. You're not supposed to hurt a living thing, ever. And if a dog was chasing you, you don't take your bike out. You stay at your grandmother's house. And if it was chasing you when you took your sister to their friend's house, stay at the friend's house and call your grandmother. And call your mother and say, I'm afraid to go home because this big bulldog is chasing me.
Yes,
you understand?
Yes,
that's why I don't believe you. All they're asking for is their vet bills. You're lucky. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $605.01. That's all. Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out. Excuse me, ladies. Shh. Yeah, this is case number 519 on the calendar in the matter of Vadvilovich versus Cash. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You're welcome. You may be seated. Folks, have a seat, please.
Ms. Vadvilovich, the defendant is your former boyfriend. You say he owes you money for a car down payment and a cruise. He says he doesn't owe you any money. As a matter of fact, you owe him money. You damaged his car. You had a hissy fit. You had an accident with a car that he's being held liable for it. So after a very short relationship, each of you claimed the other owes them in excess of $5,000. So let's start with you. When did you first meet him, and when did you make the first loan?
I first met Mr. Cash the end of January 2004.
And when did you make the first loan, and what was it for?
The first loan was made at the end of February for down payment on his, I believe it's an 01 Chevrolet Corvette Z06.
So you met him in January?
Yes.
February, you gave him money?
Correct.
That was pretty stupid.
Yes, it was.
Okay. Tell me about how that came about.
We both had a mutual love of vehicles, of cars, and he had talked about his ultimate dream car was a yellow Corvette. And he called me one day and he said, oh my God, there's one at a dealership. It's a used car. It's a great deal, blah, blah, blah. And just was in a lather about it. And he wanted to borrow the money. And he convinced me that it was a good deal. He was in a panic that this car was going to go. He said somebody else was looking at the vehicle and he needed the money right away, and so on and so on. So I went down to the dealership and I wrote a check to the agency with the understanding that it was a loan.
Just a second. Don't tell me with the understanding. You wrote a check for how much?
$4,000.
And what did Mr. Cash tell you with regard to repaying this money?
He was supposed to...
Now, what did he say?
He said that he would pay it back eventually. We were in a relationship. He had me convinced that he was a good guy. Basically, what I found is that he was a predator. I found him, at that time,
it was $4,000, and he says, "Listen to me," and he said to you, "I'll pay you back eventually." That was in February of 2004.
Correct.
Between February 2004 and July 2004, did he make any payments on the $4,000?
No.
So then, in July of 2004, tell me what you did.
In July of 2004, we were at the auto club. He didn't have an auto club membership. He had just been canceled off of his ex-girlfriend's membership. And so at the time we were at the auto club, they were also had billboards about cruises. And he's like, "Oh, it would be so great to go on a cruise," and convinced me to go on a cruise, and let's put a down payment on a cruise. And instead of doing the inexpensive cruise, he wanted to go to the 7-day Mexican Riviera cruise. And at that point, he put $500 on his credit card. Well, it's an ATM credit card. And then I gave him a check for that amount to cover the down payment.
You have your canceled check to him for that?
Yes.
I'd like to see it.
It was bundled into this. He borrowed the full amount.
It was bundled.
Is there any reason why you didn't list these other amounts as loans in your complaint?
Well, if I were to actually total up everything that I loaned Mr. Cash over the 8 months that we were together, it's in excess of $20,000.
Do you have the checks to show?
Yes.
Just give me some examples, please.
I paid his mortgage twice. Let's see, I paid for, the ones that are written to the DMV are actually for, he would convince me, oh, I left my checkbook at home when we went to the DMV, and he had to go and register all his vehicles. This is the check for the balance of the cruise that he deposited, and he proceeded to say that his mom was very, very ill. The very next day, he cancels the cruise, keeps the money, and buys an air conditioner for his friend's house because he's in a wannabe rock band. And
To go no further.
okay.
Mr. Cash,
Yes, Your Honor.
what was all this money for, sir?
The money was basically, we agreed approximately in February of 2004, I was going to purchase a Corvette. She actually offered to make the down payment for the Corvette for me
I'm talking about all this money, sir.
all the money in
I'm
total?
talking about all this money.
Sure, absolutely.
Okay. Thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars.
Basically, she bought a Mustang from me, a Ford Mustang, and then had me customize the Ford Mustang, because customizing cars is my
Just
hobby.
a second. She bought a Ford Mustang when?
On approximately March 19th of 04.
March of 2004.
Correct.
At that time, you already owed her a considerable amount of money.
No, Your Honor. No, because what happened is we agreed in February that this arrangement would happen. She took possession of the car on March 19th of 04. Also, she purchased other cars, which she was going to have me customize, also do repairs to her house.
I'm not interested,
so all the checks
I'm not
are for all
interested
the
in
things.
repairs for that. So what you're telling me is these checks, thousands and thousands of dollars, represent automobiles that she purchased from you.
Amongst other things, I bailed her out of jail. There was lots of things that the money went toward.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I have an estimate for...
Don't give me an estimate. I'm not interested in an estimate.
Those are the
What do you
only-
think, I'm stupid?
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Ann Vadvilovich says ex-boyfriend David Cash owes for a loan to buy the car of his dreams and for a share of a cruise.
Now, let's deal with the cars first.
Sure.
How much did she purchase the Mustang for, sir?
She purchased the Mustang for approximately, at the time...
No, look at me.
I'm looking at you.
I don't want to hear approximately. I want to hear, if you make a sale, because that's what you do, what amount did you sell her the Mustang for?
I sold it for $12,000
$12,000.
plus a trade in the difference of the balance of what the car was actually worth, which was the difference in the checks. So in other words, the car was worth $17,000 at the time. I took $12,000 as one cash check plus other checks to make up that balance. Those are the other checks that you are seeing, is for the difference. So the total was $17,000.
When did you deliver the title to her?
I'm not exactly sure of the date, but I...
Give me the month and year, sir.
Oh, I have the exact date, I'm sorry. Because she had an accident the same day. It was March 19th. It was the same day. That was March 19th that she took.
Then I assume she had paid for the car.
Not in full.
How much did she owe?
Probably about $4,000 still.
And despite the fact that she owed approximately $4,000 on the car, Mr. Cash, you gave her the registration. And did you have a bill of sale?
I had a bill of sale. I do have a copy of that.
I'd like to see it.
Sure.
Excuse me if I may.
Shh. Just a second.
All right.
And, Your Honor, I also have the receipt.
Shh. This says the car was purchased for $12,000, sir, on March 19th.
Correct.
That's what this says.
Correct.
According to you, she paid off that amount. The only thing she didn't pay off as of March 19th was $4,000. That's what you say. That's what you just told me. Is that correct, sir?
That is what I just told you, yes.
And I assume you wouldn't tell that to me unless it was true. Is that right?
That's correct. The difference
I'm
is
speaking.
the agreement. Sorry?
Sir, subsequent to the 19th of March, she gave you checks totaling in excess of $16,700.
It's possible. I don't know. I don't know the amount of the check.
Well, that's what I'm telling you. I've examined the endorsements on each of those checks, sir. And that doesn't even include the registration for some cars that she made out to DMV. I'm talking about just the checks made out to you and or cashed by you, made out to cash. That's almost $17,000, sir. So you want to explain that to me? And I don't want to hear anything about working around the house. Did you sell her any other property that you have a bill of sale for?
Yeah,
Show me.
I did. Okay.
Show me.
What I have done for 2 cars, I have the receipts that I paid for the merchandise, for the carts that she bought for the Jeep, which was part of the arrangement. I also have receipts for the Ford Mustang, for all the customizing work and parts I bought, the shipping for the parts, many of those items on that.
Good. Let's take the Mustang. I want you to go over all those bills, and I want you to give me an idea, Mr. Cash, of how much you spent on customizing this car for the plaintiff.
I have one receipt right here for $1,664.
$1,664. Good.
Right.
What's next?
I have another receipt for $274.27.
Go ahead.
$136.
Go ahead.
And I have an estimate.
Don't give me an estimate. I'm not interested in an estimate.
Those are the
What do you
only-
think, I'm stupid?
Those are the only receipts that I have.
Giving you the benefit of all doubt, sir, that's $2,000. What are we doing with the other $15,000, sir?
Well, there.
Well is not an answer.
Yes, ma'am.
Show me a bill of sale or bills.
I have
You kept some.
receipts for the Jeep.
Who owns the Jeep?
She owns the Jeep.
How much are the bills on the Jeep?
This one is $11.50.
$11. Shh, please.
This one is $534.97.
Okay.
This one's $45.
Go ahead.
$240.22.
Go ahead.
$45.52.
Go ahead.
$111.32. $27.04. $138.53. $100. $46.54.
Go ahead.
$117.98. $2.15.
Go ahead.
Those are the only receipts that I kept.
So that
I have.
amounts to, and my quick math would, looking at it, say it's another $1,500. On the Mustang, I'm giving you the benefit of every doubt, sir. We have $2,000, $3,500, $16,700 minus $3,500 equals $13,200. You have any other bills that you want to attribute to her other than work you did around the house, sir?
The
The answer is either yes or no.
We have items that the checks went for trips that we shared.
No, I don't want to hear that.
Okay.
No.
And I have a receipt for when I had bailed her out of jail on an arrest she had.
Okay, good. How much did it cost you to bail her out, sir?
It was $3,000.
Equals $10,200.
I also paid on my credit card kennel fees for when her
I'm not
animals-
interested in that.
But that was part
I'm
of the
not
money.
interested in kennel fees. Now, from that $10,200, I'm also giving you the benefit of every doubt, sir. I'm taking off $4,000 that you say she still owed you on the car, right? $6,200, giving you benefit of the doubt for every single thing that you say. So, what else?
The rest was for the labor to get the things on the cars done, and for labor that I've done around the house for her, for repairing $2,000.
Forget labor.
That was
She's
our
going to
arrangement.
tell me about labor.
That was our agreement. And I had never asked for money. This was never a loan. These were just pay. I've never asked, give me money, I'm going to loan you something, or to pay. There was no arrangements, there was no terms. This was entirely, if something was done, here's a check for it. Everything was great until all of a sudden she was upset that she couldn't be with me in a relationship. When that one happened, she got upset. She started breaking into my house. I have police reports that attest to that. I have audio tape that attests to the problems that went on like that. And part of my suit is where she drove into my car in retaliation and damaged the car.
Oh,
That's
the
a
major
separate
part
issue.
of your counterclaim is that she had an accident in the Mustang before you gave her title to the car.
No, it was the day. She had the accident the day that she took possession of the car, Your Honor. That's one part of it. The other part was my vet. She actually drove into the back of the car on purpose in the driveway.
No, I'm not talking about that yet, sir.
Sure.
I'm talking about your counterclaim is for $5,000. You say that she tried to get entrance to your house. That was $200, and it'll cost another $1,500 to fix your Corvette, but you're suing her for $5,000, and that is because you say she had an accident in the Mustang, and you're being held liable for that.
That's correct.
Didn't you have insurance on the Mustang?
No, because I was not operating the car prior to giving her possession.
Well, that's your problem, sir.
Well,
that is, listen to me. That's your problem. She can't get insurance. She had no insurable interest in the car until you turned over the title to her. So, what else?
Let's see what else we have. The damage to the driving into my car. She broke into.
Just a second. Did you damage his car?
No.
Tell me what happened to your car.
What happened is that she came to my house
when?
It happened twice. The first time was on September 5th of '04. Where she forced her way into the home. She broke through a front window of the house to gain entrance. I was inside. She came to the door. I told her I wasn't interested in having her over. She broke through the window. So there was a repair to the window. I called 911, had the sheriffs respond to that. I believe I do have reports.
What did she want at that time? Did she tell you?
She was ranting and raving.
What did she want, sir? What did she say to you?
It was incoherent. I don't even know why she was there.
What were you saying to him?
I was telling him that the way he was treating me was unfair. I told him that I felt that it was very wrong of him to allow me to
That's not what you... Listen to me. What were you going over there to discuss with him? The fact that he was treating you shabbily?
Shabbily, yes.
Oh, okay.
And for the record, I did not break into the house.
Just a second. That's what she came over for. He didn't want to see you. You should have left. You got it?
Correct. Yes.
Doesn't want to see you. You leave. So September 5th, she was complaining in a very loud fashion that you were treating her shabbily. I assume you had cut off contact at that point.
I had attempted. In fact, I went and filed a restraining order. And then again, on 10 of '04, this happened again, where she forced way into the house, took items from my house, including much of the paperwork that I can't present to you today for the balance of the check, keys to another vehicle of mine, which the next day showed up stolen. I had filed a police report on that, and in the police report...
Were you present in the house
yes,
when she came in?
I had actually barricaded myself in the house.
Well, how did she... Just a minute. How did she get in and take all this property
She
when you were
forced her
there?
way through the front door.
Okay. And go ahead, continue.
So I actually called the sheriff. The sheriffs that came out, had a restraining order on file. She had left numerous messages on my answering machine, all after the restraining order, which I have in the police report on file as well, attesting to those things.
Get to the damage to your Corvette, sir.
The damage to the Corvette. What happened is she left the house when the sheriffs asked her to leave the house.
On what day?
This was on 10 October of '04.
Okay.
And the sheriffs escorted her off the property. She drove back in her one of her cars, and my Corvette was parked in the driveway. And I was sitting out the window watching, and she drove into the back of the Corvette on purpose with her truck.
Do you have a copy of the police report on that, sir?
I believe I do.
I'd like to see it.
Okay. Actually, it doesn't list the Corvette in the report.
Well, let me see it, sir. If you bought this yellow Corvette, which I assume is the car you're talking about, car of your dreams, car that you really wanted to have,
it's just another car.
and if this is the car that you say she caused in excess of $1,000 worth of damage to, you would have reported that to the police when they came out.
I do. There's another report. I don't have that report with me. There's so many police reports. The sheriff told me they weren't even going to write.
Sir, you show me reports where you say she called you when she came to your house and spoke to your roommate, Mr. Martinez, that she said she had to see you. But if somebody caused physical damage to my car...
That's just one. I have another car in the driveway that she keyed alongside. I had one truck that she's stolen. Anything she could do to be vindictive to me.
Did she ever ask you for this money that she says you owed her?
No. No, not until at the end.
This is the first time she's asked you for the money?
Actually, that is not correct. At the end, she told me that when I wouldn't get back together with her, that I'm going to take you to court, that I'm going to get this money out of you. And that,
get this money out of you, or get this money that you owe me that I thought we were going to be
get this
in a
money
relationship?
out of you because I do not owe her money.
Yeah, judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $5,000. Your counterclaims dismissed. That's it.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Parties are excused. You may step out. All rise. Yeah, this is case number 554 on the calendar in the matter of Suplee versus Starr. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Gentlemen, have a seat, please.
Mrs. Suplee, the defendant used to be your son's girlfriend.
Yes.
Son?
Yes.
And she lived in your home for a while, according to what I read in your complaint, or stayed there?
Yes.
And she also had a drug problem. You didn't know that, I assume, at the time.
I was not aware of that.
Your complaint alleges that over a period of time, the defendant stole items from your home and pawned them.
That's correct.
You managed to get some of the things back.
That's correct.
2 items you did not, a bracelet and a video camera.
That's
you want her
correct.
to pay for those things. Ms. Starr says that she took care of everything she stole. She got it back for you. She doesn't know anything about this bracelet or the video camera. That's your defense.
That's right.
What kind of drugs were you addicted to, Ms. Starr?
Prescription Xanax.
But you were getting it from means other than being prescribed by a doctor.
Right. I was getting it through a friend.
How long had you been addicted to Xanax?
It had been going on for about 3 months.
When were you staying at the Suplee home?
It was around last year.
When was she staying at your home?
July and August.
How did you discover the missing items?
Well, I had had minor surgery on the 2nd of September. I did not wear my jewelry that week. So the week after that, I believe it was the 13th, is when I went into my jewelry box to get these 2 rings to wear, and they weren't there. And I got very upset, and I went and woke my son up and my husband up and told them that I could not be late for work. I asked them to
see them, please?
To look around to see if they could locate them, and I left for work.
This was the 2nd week in September?
Yes. When I got to work, my husband called me and said that him and my son had found some pawn tickets in Courtney's purse. Courtney was in jail at the time. She had been arrested that weekend for a DUI. And so they went through her purse and found these pawn tickets in her purse where she had used a false ID and signed a false name on these pawn tickets, and she had taken my rings and a bunch of my other jewelry, which I didn't realize until I talked to my husband. When I called him, it dawned on me that my diamond bracelet and my opal and sapphire ring and my Guan peso earrings were not in there, so I asked him to check in my jewelry box and see if those were there as well, and he looked and he said they were not there. And when he went to the pawn shop and asked them about the ring, they just kind of looked at each other like they knew what he was talking about, but they weren't going to say anything.
You're Mr. Suplee.
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me what happened when you went to the pawn shop.
The first couple I went to didn't really tell me much because in Texas you can't really discuss a pawned item. So I went to the third one, and this is the one where they kind of looked at each other, and I asked to speak to the manager, and he came out from the back, and apparently on this particular item, the large diamond ring, she didn't pawn it, she sold it.
How much did she sell it for?
$35.
How many items in total did you ultimately get back from the pawn shops?
I don't know the total number that we got back. I know that we got back everything but 2.
And you got them back because her grandmother intervened, is that right?
That's correct.
You contacted her grandmother?
Well, actually, I called her mother, and I told her mother that we were going to file charges against her for taking these items, and her mother said that she had kicked her out of the house and to do whatever we had to do. So we went down the next day and filed a police report, and I do have the police report here.
May I see? Go ahead.
So then her grandmother called me at work and asked me what was going on, and I told her basically that Courtney had stolen some jewelry from our home and that I wanted the jewelry back, and that we had filed a police report against her, and if we didn't get the jewelry back that we were going to prosecute her. So she called and talked to him.
What did she say?
She said she had discussed it with Courtney's mother and Courtney, and that she was going to go ahead and help Courtney out and apparently loan her some money.
Good. That's how you got the stuff back.
Yes, ma'am.
What didn't you get back?
We did not get back my gold peso bracelet and a video camera.
Is that a Sony video camera?
No, this is not a Sony video camera. It's a Sharp.
Did you get back a Sony video camera?
No, that was not ours. She's pawned.
Where did you get the Sony video camera?
Sony video camera?
Yeah, that you pawned.
I didn't know that there was a Sony video camera.
So it's possible that you were not in complete control of your senses at all times when you took this property and you stole from more homes than one.
True.
Mm-hmm. All right. You weren't missing binoculars, were you?
Well, not that I know of, but these were the rest of my jewelry that she pawned that we got back.
I'll take a look
in
at
addition
it.
to the rings.
But I see here binoculars, DVD movies, Black & Decker hedge cutter.
We did not realize those were even gone until we went to the pawn shop, and those were there. Only then did we realize that those had been taken.
Okay. All right, Miss Starr. I'm going to listen. Do you have anything to say to me?
I remember taking the jewelry, all the jewelry.
When did you take the jewelry?
It was spread out. It was like an everyday thing. It happened. It went on for a month.
So you mean each day you would go and take something else?
Mm-hmm. Just so I could go get more Xanax.
Where else did you steal from?
I also stole from my own family.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
She has a mother, she has a grandmother. Didn't it strike you, young man, that if she wasn't welcome in her mother's house and her grandmother's house, that there might be something wrong with her?
And later today,
your oldest son had been in the Marines. He came back from the Marines and tragically he committed suicide.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Gwendolyn Suplee says her son's ex-girlfriend, Courtney Starr, stole her jewelry and video camera and pawned them for drugs.
How much is the gold bracelet worth?
The gold bracelet we bought 15 years ago when we went on a trip to Cancun. So since it was 15 years ago, I do not have a receipt for it, but it was $650. I have pictures of me wearing it.
Can I see it, please?
Yes.
What's the son's name?
James.
James, you're going to take your father's place, please. James, you have a drug problem?
No.
Did you?
No.
Did you know that Miss Starr had a drug problem?
Well, I did in time. So we realized this was going on, and I realized that it was a problem.
I'm talking about before that.
No.
Before the jewelry episode.
No.
Had no clue?
Mm-mm.
Really?
Yeah.
How long had you been together?
Oh, about 6 months.
Why did you invite her to your house?
Well, things were going pretty good, and after she started staying and spending a lot of time with me, she had lost her job, and she just kind of fell off the edge, and stuff started going downhill.
I don't know what that means.
She lost her job. We started having problems. She didn't have any money, and that's when I realized that something funny was going on. That's when I decided to check her purse for the pawn tickets, right after my mom realized that the jewelry was missing.
That doesn't answer my question, James. If you're dating somebody for 6 months, you don't invite them to come to your house to stay. She has a mother, she has a grandmother. Didn't it strike you, young man, that if she wasn't welcome in her mother's house and her grandmother's house, that there might be something wrong with her?
Yeah, I mean, she's welcome at her mother's and her grandmother's house. It was...
James, what do you do?
I'm a human resource manager.
How old are you?
25.
Where do you live?
Lake Dallas, Texas.
Do you live at home?
Yes.
Not anymore.
I just recently moved out a few weeks ago.
Who do you live with?
2 roommates.
Perfect. That'll help him grow up. It's time. Time he wasn't tethered to your side. Do you have any other children home?
No, I do not.
Yes! When did you buy the video camera?
We bought the video camera in 1979. Here is the receipt for the video camera.
Can I see it, please?
It came from Fry Electronics.
You have receipts from 1979. You are one organized
No, I did
lady.
not. I did not. I had to call them up, and we had to get them to mail it to us. I did not have it.
Gwen.
Huh?
It wasn't 1979.
What year was it?
Well, it'll say on the receipt,
Yeah.
but it wasn't 79.
Okay.
$382, is that it?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so let's go back. $1,060. I hope that that completes the debt. I hope that you didn't take any property from anybody else. You're off the stuff?
Mm-hmm.
Working? Mm-hmm. Where?
I am a photo tech at Walmart.
Okay, fine. Where are you living?
My parents.
Getting along all right?
Yes, I've cleaned up a lot.
How old are you?
I'm 20.
Well, so you have another 60 years to go. So you have 60 years to do it right. First couple of years weren't so hot. Make sure the last 60 are better.
Right.
Good. Judgment for the plaintiff for the amount of $1,060. Thank you.
Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I've just had a rough life. I guess it's because of my childhood.
It hurt. It hurt a lot.
I've learned to shape my life up, quit doing drugs.
We don't hate her. We don't like what she did, but we don't hate her.
I knew I needed to change.
I try to have some understanding for the fact that there was drugs involved and maybe she wasn't in her right mind. But at the same time, you make your own bed.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Daniels versus Sizemore. Step forward, please.
Homemaker Tammy Daniels is suing her ex-husband, factory worker George Sizemore, for his share of their son's funeral expenses. George says Tammy didn't consult him regarding the arrangements.
Miss Daniels, the defendant is your former husband. You have 2 children together, or had 2 children together?
Yes, ma'am.
Your oldest son had been in the Marines.
Yes, ma'am.
Where was he stationed?
He was in Paris Island, and then he went to Camp Lejeune, South Carolina.
He came back from the Marines, and tragically, he committed suicide.
Yes,
when
ma'am.
was that?
It was in Louisville, Kentucky.
When?
On July the 17th, 2004.
It is your claim that your former husband agreed to pay for half of certain funeral expenses, and he did not.
Yes.
That's what you're suing him for.
Yes, ma'am.
And your former husband says that he was not consulted with regard to things that you purchased, certain flowers, memorial stone, and he's not paying for it.
Yes, sir, ma'am.
Okay. When did you make the arrangement, Mrs. Daniels, with Mr. Sizemore to pay certain of the funeral expenses?
My son died on July the 17th. My ex-husband come to my house. That was on a Saturday. My ex-husband come to my house on a Sunday with my husband and my son and my sister, and a few of my other family members was there, and we discussed the flowers. He helped pick out the flowers. We had a meeting Saturday when I found out my son died. We had to go to Grayson's funeral home, and we had to pick out the funeral service, the casket, and everything. It totaled up that day to be, just for the funeral service, $5,998.70.
What was the discussion about the flowers?
He agreed to pay half of them that
That's what I
Friday.
want to know. He agreed to pay for half.
Yes, ma'am.
And how much were the flowers?
The flowers was $225.
And what else did he agree to pay for?
He agreed to pay half of the gravesite.
How much was the gravesite?
$400.
Who paid for that?
Me and my husband.
What else did he agree to pay for half of?
He agreed to pay half for the headstone.
Who picked out the headstone?
My sons.
Did Mr. Sizemore have any input in the headstone?
Yes, I called him that Saturday morning when we were going to look for the headstone and asked him if him and Mary would meet us up at the monument, and he said that he couldn't make it. I said, George, are you going to help me with our son's headstone and the money you owe us? And he said, I don't have the effing money.
I'm going to hear you, Mr. Sizemore.
Okay. To start out with, yes, we started looking at the flowers on that Sunday. You know,
Okay.
I did agree to pay half of the flowers for the flowers. As far as the gravesite went, yes, the funeral director did say it was going to be an additional $400. And I said that was fine with me. You know, it started out, I'd wanted him buried.
Just a second. So you agreed to pay for half the gravesite?
Yes, ma'am, I did. Yes, I did.
All right, fine.
Okay, and during the time that we were setting up the funeral arrangements and the graves and all that, I was asked that, you know, we were asked where did we want him buried. I wanted him buried in my family area. Okay, her sister and her spoke up and said, well, we want him close to our mom, which is fine if he'd been buried there. My son is buried in a public cemetery by himself. You know, I didn't agree to that site.
Why is that, Ms. Daniels?
My son is buried where the spots was open, and it's right down from my mom. And
just a minute. Is there any reason why, if he wasn't buried in the same plot as your family, that he wasn't buried in Mr. Sizemore's family's plot?
He lives about 6 miles from where we live. He has to come through Charlestown to go to Otisco. He goes by my son's grave every day. That was right there where everybody could go and visit my son.
Okay, fine, that's a reason. That's a reason. Okay, so far, Mr. Sizemore, I see that you owe your former wife $312 for the expenses that you agreed to pay half for and did not. I don't know about the tombstone because I haven't heard an agreement to pay for half of that.
As far as the headstone goes, they called and asked me about, meeting and getting it. And I told them that the only requirement that I actually asked for on that is that it be black granite. Time prior, before my son passed away, we'd talk about things like it because, I'm getting older. And he's always telling me,
How old are you?
42. Okay.
When you're 42, you don't think about what color granite you want on your gravesite.
I do. Life's too fast to worry about, think about things like that. But anyways, to go on, I said the only thing that really requires that be black granite, and with him being in the military, he's very proud of that. I wanted that. I wanted something with his battalion or whatever. And I said, I will not pay over $1,000 for my half of this headstone.
Okay, so how much was that stone?
The headstone totaled out to $3,745.
Okay. So he already told you that he wasn't going to pay for more than $1,000?
No, he did not. He told me he would pay half when I talked to him on the phone.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Was the stone that you selected black granite?
Yes, ma'am.
Is black granite?
He's never been there to see.
Ma'am, I cannot go up there. My family's gone. I said, yeah. So as far as I know, it is, yes.
Okay, well, then you got half of what you wanted because I assume it doesn't say anything about the military. Is that right?
Ma'am, I don't know.
Yes, it does. This guy's military picture on it.
So it has his military picture on it. So you got your black granite and you got his picture on it.
Okay.
Right?
Yes, ma'am.
And you got to pay $1,000 for it. That's what you said. Let's say that that's what you said, that you were going to pay $1,000 for it. So that's $1,312. Look, Miss Daniels, when somebody dies prematurely like this, anger is a much easier emotion to deal with than loss and sorrow. Don't be angry. Don't be angry at her. The fact that your son isn't buried in a place that you would have preferred.
I'm not angry with her.
So don't be angry.
I'm not.
You have to sort of put a period, take care of this responsibility.
Yes, ma'am.
And look forward. Don't say anything else. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out. Montgomery. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Gentlemen, have seats, please.
Ms. Yoakum, you and the defendant had a relationship which is no longer, and it is your claim that Mr. Montgomery owes you for half a trip that you took together to California. And in addition, there is still a remaining balance that he owes you on some bail money that you wired for him, which allowed his get-out-of-jail almost free card. Mr. Montgomery says that the trip to California that you took was a gift, and that while he does acknowledge that you posted bail for him at one point, he says he's paid you the entire $500 back. Is that right, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. So, tell me about this trip to California. When did you take it, and what were the circumstances?
Your Honor, Mr. Montgomery in August had offered to take me on vacation for my birthday, which is September 9th. Offered to pay for it with the check for vacation that he had been anticipated on receiving.
I don't know. Ms. Yoakum, listen to me. There are certain things that ring true.
Right.
Boyfriends say, I want to take you on a vacation. Let's go on a vacation.
Right.
Great. Where do you want to go? I want to go to
California.
California. Boyfriend doesn't say, I'm going to pay for it with a check that I'm going to get from my job when I left and my... That you don't discuss.
At that point in time, I was not able to afford to go. And
So let's go back a little bit. It's August, and you discuss going on a vacation.
Yes.
Tell me where you were when you first started to discuss going on the vacation.
We were at my home discussing going on vacation for my birthday. He had told me that he was going to pay for the entire trip from a vacation check from his former employer.
Tell me how he said that to you.
I said, you know, I can't afford to go on this trip right now.
So he didn't say to you, I want to take you on a trip for your birthday.
Yes, he did.
Now, shh, Miss Yoakum, listen to me carefully. If he said, I want to take you on a trip for your birthday, then you wouldn't have had any discussion with him about, I can't pay for it now. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? Don't fudge the truth. The truth may be in all that you need. But when I ask you what was said, you're going to tell me exactly what was said. Because if he said to you, I'm taking you away for your birthday, your response would not have been, I can't afford to go now. Because that wouldn't have been a logical response. Logical response would have been, oh, great. Do you understand what I'm saying to you?
Right.
Okay, now let's go. Let me hear your version.
What happened is she wanted to go away for a weekend. It was Labor Day weekend, and I had a long weekend off at work. Now, since I had a long weekend off at work, she said, let's go get away, and we're trying to decide where to go. I said, well, I don't have any money on me. I didn't have much money. I just started work at a job closer to her home. And I did get a check right before I went. I said, well, I have a check before I go. All I'll have is spending money. She said, don't worry about it. I'll purchase the tickets. I'll get the hotel wherever we're going to stay and take what money you have and use that for spending money, which I did.
And you went away Labor Day weekend?
Yes.
Yes, I have the receipts for the amounts charged on my credit card.
Let me see. What's Tiffany and Company?
Jewelry store.
I know what it is. What'd you buy there?
I bought a necklace.
For who?
Me.
Well, why is that here?
I just highlighted everything because he had told me he was taking me and he would pay for everything.
No, dear. You don't get it. The only thing I don't see here really is restaurants. Only
paid
one restaurant.
We took a large sum of money. I withdrew over $500. He had the $400 from his check, and then an additional $200 that I withdrew from my ATM. Which
Okay, just
I
a
do
minute.
have.
So he had $400 that he took with him.
Yes.
That he spent.
And I also had money that I took. I didn't feel that he should pay for, you know, if I wanted any, like, souvenirs.
Necklaces. Shh. Okay, Mr. Montgomery, when you came back from this vacation, were you working, sir?
Yes.
What kind of job were you working at?
I was at a car dealership.
So why didn't you start paying her for at least part of this trip, your airline tickets and
I
the
sure
rental
did.
car?
Every paycheck I got, I gave her $300 here, $400 there. I gave her plenty of money.
Were you living together?
Yes, we were.
How long did you live together?
5 months.
Is that right?
5 months.
August 5th. I do have a record of every
Just
time.
tell me how long you lived together.
August 5th.
To when?
Or, I'm sorry, about August 5th to December 5th.
Okay. And he would give you money every month? Or every week from his paycheck?
He gave me a little bit here and there. I have wrote down every amount that he's ever given me.
Let me see it. Bert.
And I gave it to him when...
Let me see it. What, I missed something. I missed something.
Oh, yes.
What did I miss? What did he say? A couple of months, 3, but like that? What did he do? No, I really want to know.
Okay.
It was 5, but I only have, I forgot. I only got 4 fingers on his hand.
Right.
So.
And then he switched up, and it was...
I know I missed something.
It was a moment.
All right, let's get to the bail. Oh. Why were you arrested, sir?
From a previous relationship, a crazy ex-girlfriend. Going through some problems. It had nothing pertaining to do with us.
So you were arrested on an assault charge or domestic violence?
It was a home invasion charge.
I have that right here. If you'd like.
When we got back from California,
Can I take a look at it?
she went and bought a wedding dress. She wanted to get married that soon. She went and purchased a wedding dress.
Mr. Montgomery, I'm talking about your arrest. You're talking to me about wedding veils. Did these two things have anything to do with each other?
No.
Good. And if you thought that you were going to get me off track just because of my age, you are not going to be successful, sir. What was the date that you posted this bond?
The date of the bond was, it was 3 days before Thanksgiving, right before Thanksgiving, like a week
November,
before,
sir,
maybe.
and you separated...
It was in November, yes.
November. You separated shortly thereafter in December.
Yes, I was at work, and she came to my work at 8 o'clock at night in the freezing cold.
Whatever.
With all my belongings.
With her
said,
wedding
"Here,
dress.
Go out.
Okay. How much did he pay you back?
He paid me $220.
Okay. So far, I am satisfied that he owes you $280 for the bond. I'm not so sure about the trip.
He actually
I
asked.
would like you to tell me why it was that after 5 months living together, you chose to evict him in the fashion that you did.
We had a lot of arguments, and frankly, he scared me. His ex-girlfriend had brought him in on domestic violence charges.
And you thought this was the safest way of dealing
I thought
with
it was the safest way. I had my friend with me. I wasn't
So
sure
you were
what he
afraid
would
of
do.
him?
I was afraid. He
were-
made two death threats to me.
You were afraid of him?
Yes.
Well, then my question is, and I know that this will sound a little naive to you, if you were afraid of him, why did you subsequently decide to have any contact with him?
He told me he would pay me back before Christmas so that I would have money.
Do you understand what I'm saying to you? If you're really afraid of somebody and you fear for your life, why would you sue somebody for a couple of bucks if you got them out of your life and they were gone? So that you would have contact with them again, even if it's only briefly.
Your Honor, because I have PPO papers prepared and ready to go as soon as I get home.
What's PPO?
Personal protection order.
Why would you bother with that, though? My question is, why would you bother?
Because I've been in contact with his ex-girlfriend. I know what he's like. I know
Just a minute. What contact have you had with him since he left in December?
I haven't spoken to him.
So he hasn't... Shh. You haven't spoken to him? He hasn't called you?
He kept calling me until the 20th of December.
So several months went by and it's no contact. So why do you have an application ready for a protective order?
Because I'm being called as a witness in his felony trial.
Being called in his felony trial by his ex-girlfriend as a witness?
Yes.
So you got together with the ex-girlfriend?
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And later today,
I did try to contact her,
Which
and she
is what?
refused to sign.
Just a minute. What do you want?
She was harassing me.
I didn't. I'm not looking at you.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Cindy Yoakum says ex-boyfriend Andrew Montgomery owes for bail money and for a trip to California. Andrew says it was her idea to take the trip.
It sounds to me as if you want nothing more to do with him and wanted to sever all ties and just get on with your life, you've certainly complicated it, and that was your own doing.
Yes, I realize that.
Good. So it was very foolish. She owes you $280 for the bail. The trip, hope you enjoyed it. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
He's got a history of using women. I thought she might help me out.
She went and bought a wedding dress. Right after we got back from California, wanted to get married. I wasn't ready to get married, and I didn't want to get married to her.
Let me see, he's asked me to marry him, he's asked his ex-girlfriend to marry him, and the one before that. He basically takes whoever's got the most money and uses them for whatever he can get.
She contacted me after she booted me out, after she kicked me out, left me in the cold. She called me, had me come up and visit her 3 different times.
He's got home invasion charges. Why am I the person that is the bad person in this case?
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of the Cuckoo versus Carr. Step forward, please.
19-year-old spa attendant Teresa DeCuckoo is suing her ex-roommate, 20-year-old spa attendant Carol Carr, for breaking a lease. Carol says she gave proper notice.
According to your complaint, Mr. Cuckoo, you and the defendant leased an apartment together. You've been friends for a long time. You thought it would work out. After a couple of months, the defendant moved out.
That's correct, Your Honor.
And you want her to be responsible for her half of the rent for the remainder of the lease so that it doesn't destroy your credit.
That's correct.
Defendant says she thought she was being more than fair. She had to move out. And she says you should get another roommate. When did you sign this lease?
July 14th, 2002.
What was the rent?
The rent was $925. $512.50 was her responsibility.
Are you still there?
No, I'm not.
You're not?
No,
What
I'm not.
happened?
I moved back in with my mother
When?
at the end of October.
Did they re-rent the apartment?
I am not sure, Your Honor.
Well, have you gotten any notifications from the landlord with regard to rent that the landlord
Yes,
claims
I
you
do.
owe? Let me see.
This is my 30-day notice to vacate the apartment.
I'm talking about after you left.
After I left,
Because according to the defendant paid the rent, gave you a check for rent for September. She moved out September 1st, but she gave you her share of September's rent. Is that correct?
Yes, that
And you
is.
don't dispute that, is that right?
No, I don't.
Okay. And you moved out the end of October. So
Yes.
we have October's rent,
Right.
right? Which, based upon what you tell me, is $512.50 would be her share of October's rent up until the time you moved out, and you're suing her for $2,800.
That's correct, Your Honor.
Okay, so you're going to have to explain that to me.
Yes. Right. These are the payments I made, and because it's for the lease break and everything. That's right when I moved out. That was the payment agreement from the landlord.
The fees that she was charged to break the lease were $1,836, Ms. Carr.
Yes.
Half of $1,836 is $918. I want you to explain to me why you should not be responsible for $918.
Okay, I gave my 30 days notice like required in the lease contract.
Your
If I
Honor,
needed
that
to
isn't
move
true.
out.
I don't want to hear you unless I come back and look at you. Do you understand?
Yes.
So
No. Pay careful attention to me.
Mm-hmm.
You show me your lease, which says that if you give them 30 days notice, you're allowed to break your lease with no consequence by giving them 30 days notice.
I have where it says the 30 days notice section right here.
What does it say? Read it.
Full term unless owner consents in writing, residence agrees not to move out of the apartment prior to the end of the lease term or renewal of the extension period without the rentals of the entire lease term or renewal or extension period being
Ms. Carr,
paid in
you know
full.
what that means? It means that if the owner agrees, did the owner agree that you move out?
I gave them my written notice. They didn't argue with me.
Ms. Carr, you don't get it. A lease means that if you pay your rent and are a good tenant, the landlord can't throw you out for 12 months. And it means that you are responsible for the rent for 12 months. Just if you decide in the middle of the lease that you don't want to live there anymore, you just can't give them 30 days notice and move out.
Well, I had a bad car accident
That's
at
not
the
her
beginning
problem.
of the month, and that's why.
That's not her problem. That's your problem.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You have to be a grown-up. Your first responsibility was you signed a lease with somebody else. Somebody else that could not afford the apartment by themselves. So if it's a toss-up between you putting money towards a new car and moving back with your parents so that you can pay for the car and living up to your pre-existing responsibility, you have to live up to your pre-existing responsibility. That's a grown-up. You do, however, have to accept your part of the responsibility, which is you had a roommate. It didn't work out. She moved out for whatever reason. You couldn't live there by yourself. It's a very good lesson. You don't take an apartment with a roommate for more rent than you can pay by yourself, the whole thing. Because otherwise you have to move out and you have these fees. She's not going to pay the whole fee, only half. Do you understand?
I actually have other expenses that has incurred while she was there.
Like what?
I have a copy of a couple utility bills that she refused to pay for.
Can I say a comment about that? Actually, I paid half of the cable and the power. She never gave me a copy of the phone bill. Claimed I could get it at Sprint.com, but without any account number, I can't access
Is this
that.
a phone bill?
It's a phone bill and a power bill, Your Honor.
Is this 10346?
Yes, Your Honor.
Well, is that for September?
That's for 3 months total.
Up through September 25th?
Yes.
Sprint bill, power bill was $38.75, and that was date to next meter reading October 16th, so that was through September. No. She's not responsible for the power bill. $969. Ladies, it's too bad your friendship is over.
Your Honor, I have one more thing.
Which is?
I did try to contact her,
Which
and she
is what?
refused to sign. She refused
Well, she was
contact.
harassed.
Just a minute. What do you want?
She was harassing me.
I didn't. I'm not looking at you. So?
She had refused a letter I sent to her house.
So what?
Saying her statements.
So what? What does that have to do with what I'm talking about now?
Nothing.
Good.
But, excuse me, I also have one more thing.
What?
My moving costs. that I had to vacate the apartment with.
That's your problem. Your moving costs are your problem. Sometimes when you take a roommate and things don't work out, you have to move. You think that she's going to pay your moving expenses?
At least half.
Get a roommate. I said you don't have to. You shouldn't be forced to get a roommate if you don't want to, but because you chose not to get another roommate or try to get another roommate and chose to move out, you incurred certain expenses. She's responsible for half of your break lease expenses because she did in fact break the lease. So did you. $969 is what she owes you. That's all. Step out.
Parties are excused.
Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Ladies, have seats, please.
Mr. Ladd, according to what I've read, sir, you went into a tavern and you had half a dozen beers, maybe 4 or 5, ordered a large pizza to go, and as you were exiting the tavern, there was some sort of an altercation with the defendant. Then you claim outside he assaulted you seriously. Is that right?
That's correct.
His ultimate defense is there was some sort of a verbal altercation. You bet him $20 that you could whip his butt, and you did. That's your defense. So that it was a fair fight outside. That's your defense.
It was a fair
that you
fight,
won the
correct.
bet.
No, I haven't been paid.
That was cute, Mr. Lindquist. We'll see. All right, Mr. Ladd, had you ever seen this gentleman before?
Just as a patron of the bar,
What time did you arrive at the bar?
approximately 7 o'clock,
And what time did this assault take place?
9:30.
So you were there for about 2.5 hours.
That's correct.
So what happened when they give you your pizza, you pay your tab, and you start to walk out?
Well, it's very busy as I'm going through the crowd. Supposedly, I bumped into his girlfriend, which was sitting on a bar stool in the aisleway to go out the door. Supposedly, Mr. Lindquist confronted me about...
Not supposedly. Listen, stop with the supposedly. You tell me what you remember of that evening.
I remember
Did
Mr.
you
Lindquist
remember
confronting
poking
me.
her with the box, with the pizza box?
I don't recall that because it was so busy. I probably bumped several people basically going through the crowd. There was a...
जो है 10 से 12 विड्रॉ लगाए, सारे विड्रॉ यहाँ पर जो है सक्सेसफुली हो चुके हैं, इसमें कोई भी प्रॉब्लम नहीं आई है। तो जैसा कि गाइज आप सब लोगों को पता ही होगा कि मैंने स्टार कॉइन्स करके एप्लीकेशन का रिव्यू किया था, उस पर किस तरह से विड्रॉ होता है उसके बारे में मैंने आपको बताया था, बट काफ़ी सारे लोगों को प्रॉब्लम आ रही है। तो मैं आज आपको दिखाऊंगा किस तरह से आपको विड्रॉ करना है, किस तरह से इसमें कॉइन इकट्ठा करना है, स्टेप बाय स्टेप सारी चीज़ें बताऊंगा। सबसे पहले तो देखिए यहाँ पर क्या करना है, आपको कॉइन्स के ऑप्शन पर क्लिक कर देना है। जैसे कॉइन्स के ऑप्शन पर क्लिक कर देंगे आपको यहाँ पर देखिए विड्रॉ हिस्ट्री दिखाई दे रही होगी। तो देख सकते हैं मैंने काफ़ी सारे यहाँ पर विड्रॉ लगाए। आई थिंक मैंने यहाँ पर जो है 10 से 12 विड्रॉ लगाए, सारे विड्रॉ यहाँ पर जो है सक्सेसफुली हो चुके हैं, इसमें कोई भी प्रॉब्लम नहीं आई है। एंड विड्रॉ सक्सेसफुली होने का टाइमिंग भी बता देता हूँ, 3 से 4 घंटे में आपका यहाँ पर विड्रॉ सक्सेसफुली भी हो जाएगा। जेन्युइन है, प्ले स्टोर पे भी मिल जाएगी। अभी गाइज मैं क्या करता हूँ, बैक चला जाता हूँ। अभी इसमें किस तरह से आपको कॉइन्स इकट्ठा करना है स्टेप बाय स्टेप समझाता हूँ। सबसे पहले तो आपको आ जाना है, इस टाइप से आपको यहाँ पर इंटरफेस देखने को मिलेगा। जैसे ओपन करेंगे तो आपको देखिए यहाँ पर 4 पॉइंट देखने को मिल जाएंगे। इसमें से आप देख सकते हैं बस टिक का ऑप्शन मिल जाएगा, वहां पर सबसे पहले तो क्लिक कर देना है। जैसे वहां पर क्लिक कर देंगे तो उसमें आपको क्या करना है, अंडे फोड़ने हैं। जैसे कोई भी एक अंडा फूटेगा उससे आपको यहाँ पर कॉइन्स मिलेंगे और उस कॉइन्स को आप अपने अकाउंट पे ऐड कर सकते हैं। कहीं पर भी यहाँ पर क्लिक करेंगे तो यहाँ पर एड्स देखने को मिलेगी, उस एड्स को आपको यहाँ पर वॉच करना है। अगर एड्स को आपने स्किप कर दिया तो आपको यहाँ पर जो भी बेनिफिट्स होता है वो यहाँ पर नहीं मिलेगा। तो सबसे पहले एड्स को कंप्लीट होने देंगे, क्लोज का आइकन आएगा तो हम लोग क्या कर देंगे, क्लोज कर देंगे। जैसे क्लोज कर दिया तो आप देख सकते हैं आपके सामने इस टाइप का इंटरफेस देखने को मिल जाएगा। अभी गाइज आपको यहाँ पर टोटली 15 अंडे फोड़ने का चांस मिलता है, तो इसमें से कोई भी अंडा आप यहाँ पर फोड़ सकते हैं। मान लो कि मैंने ये अंडा फोड़ दिया तो उसमें से कितना कॉइन्स निकला वो यहाँ पर आपको देखने को मिल जाएगा। तो उस अंडे से 7 कॉइन्स मिला, इसे मैं यहाँ पर क्लिक कर दूंगा। जैसे क्लिक करूंगा उसके बाद एक एड्स आएगी। जैसे एड्स आती है तो आपको क्या करना है, यहाँ पर क्लोज का आइकन देखने को मिलेगा, उसे आपको यहाँ पर क्लोज कर देना है। आपको बैक नहीं जाना है और आपकी जो डिस्प्ले होती है उसे ऑफ भी नहीं करना है। अभी देख सकते हैं 7 कॉइन्स हमारे अकाउंट पे ऐड हो चुके हैं। उसी टाइप से हम लोग क्या कर सकते हैं, यहाँ पर दूसरी बार यहाँ पर अंडा फोड़ेंगे। दूसरी बार जो अंडा फोड़ा है उससे कितना यहाँ पर कॉइन्स मिलेगा वो भी देख लेते हो। तो दूसरे अंडे से भी 7 कॉइन्स मिला, वहां पर क्लिक कर दिया एंड एड्स आएगी, उसे हम लोगों को क्लोज कर करना है। जो भी एड्स आती है उसे आपको स्किप नहीं करना है, अगर स्किप करेंगे तो यहाँ पर आपको कॉइन्स नहीं मिलेंगे। देख सकते हैं यहाँ पर काउंट डाउन आ चुका है, यहाँ पर क्लोज के आइकन के ऑप्शन पर क्लिक कर दिया, अभी जो भी 7 कॉइन्स होगा ऐड हो जाएगा। आप देख सकते हैं काउंट डाउन भी माइनस हो चुका है। इसे आपको देखना है तो आपको क्या करना है, यहाँ पर क्लिक कर देना है। जैसे वहां पर क्लिक कर देंगे विड्रॉ हिस्ट्री के ऑप्शन पे जाएंगे, आप देख सकते हैं यहाँ पर ट्रांजैक्शन हिस्ट्री के ऑप्शन पे देखिए 2 बार 7 कॉइन्स मिले थे, सारे कॉइन्स यहाँ पर ऐड हो चुके हैं। इसी टाइप से यहाँ पर कॉइन्स होते हैं उसे ऐड कर सकते हैं। अभी सेकंड चीज आती है, यहाँ पर देख सकते हैं पर रेफर आपको यहाँ पर जो है कुछ कॉइन्स मिलेंगे, उसके बारे में मैं आपको बता देता हूँ। तो आप अपने दोस्तों के साथ शेयर करेंगे इस एप्लीकेशन को तो आपको यहाँ पर रेफर आप देख सकते हैं यहाँ पर जो कॉइन्स लिखा हुआ है वो आपको यहाँ पर मिल सकता है। एंड आपको किस तरह से शेयर करना है वो भी मैं आपको बता देता हूँ। आप देख सकते हैं सेंड इनवाइट के ऑप्शन पे क्लिक कर देना है। जैसे सेंड इनवाइट के ऑप्शन पे क्लिक कर देंगे आप तो कोई भी सोशल मीडिया प्लेटफॉर्म है उस पर आपको उसे शेयर कर देना है। जैसे ही शेयर कर देंगे तो उससे जो भी आपका यहाँ पर यूजर आएंगे उससे आपको यहाँ पर कुछ कॉइन्स मिलेंगे, जो कि यहाँ पर आपको लिखा हुआ है वो कॉइन्स आपको यहाँ पर मिल जाएंगे। अभी गाइस इसे बैक चला जाता हूँ। सबसे ज्यादा कॉइन्स जो होते हैं वो रेफर एंड अर्न से यहाँ पर इकट्ठा कर सकते हैं, जो कि पर रेफर आपको इतने सारे कॉइन्स यहाँ पर मिल सकते हैं जो कि यहाँ पर लिखा हुआ है, उस टाइप से यहाँ पर मिलते भी है। अभी देख सकते हैं आप और ज्यादा कॉइन्स यहाँ पर इकट्ठा करना चाहते हैं, कुछ टास्क कंप्लीट करके यहाँ पर कॉइन्स इकट्ठा करना चाहते हैं तो आपको क्या करना है, वोट ऑफर के ऑप्शन पे क्लिक कर देना है। जैसे वोट ऑफर के ऑप्शन पे क्लिक कर देंगे आपको देखिए यहाँ पर फिर से एड्स आएगी, उसे आपको क्या करना है, क्लोज कर देना है। एंड गाइस जैसे ही क्लोज कर देंगे उसके बाद किस तरह से यहाँ पर एक न्यू प्लेटफॉर्म ओपन हो जाएगा, उससे यहाँ पर आप देख सकते हैं इस टाइप का इंटरफेस देखने को मिलेगा। जैसे आप यहाँ पर ओपन करेंगे आपको काफी सारी कैटेगरी देखने को मिल जाती है, जैसे कि गेमिंग, वन टाइम यूजिंग यानी कि 1 स्टेप यहाँ पर फॉलो कर सकते हैं, उसके बाद न्यू जो होता है वो भी यहाँ पर आपको देखने को मिल जाएगा। तो अभी हम लोग क्या करते हैं, यहाँ पर इस तरह से ही रहने देते हैं और देख सकते हैं यहाँ पर 1 स्टेप के ऑप्शन पर क्लिक कर दूंगा। जैसे 1 स्टेप के ऑप्शन पर क्लिक कर दूंगा आप देख सकते हैं इस ऐप को यहाँ पर आपको 2 मिनट तक यूज करना है और उससे आपको यहाँ पर 7 कॉइन्स मिल जाएंगे। मैं वहां पर क्लिक कर देता हूँ। जैसे मैंने वहां पर क्लिक कर दिया उसके बाद आपको क्या करना है, जो अनेबल यूजिंग एक्सेस से इनेबल कर देना है। जैसे इनेबल कर देंगे तो उसके बाद देख सकते हैं यहाँ पर फिर से बैक चले जाना है एंड कोई भी एड्स आएगी उसे यहाँ पर क्लोज कर देना है। जैसे क्लोज कर देंगे उसके बाद आप देख सकते हैं यहाँ पर 3 टास्क दिए गए, उस टास्क को कंप्लीट करेंगे तो आपको यहाँ पर देख सकते हैं 70 कॉइन्स यहाँ पर मिल जाएंगे। फर्स्ट टास्क में आपको क्या करना है, इसे आपको इंस्टॉल करना है डाउनलोड करके, उसके बाद आपको क्या करना है 2 से 3 मिनट तक इस एप्लीकेशन को आपको सिर्फ एक्सप्लोर करना है। जैसे एक्सप्लोर कर देंगे तो आप देख सकते हैं गेट के ऑप्शन पर क्लिक कर देंगे तो आपका टास्क यहाँ पर कंप्लीट हो जाएगा और 70 कॉइन्स यहाँ पर लिखा हुआ है वो यहाँ पर आपको मिल जाएगा। तो इसी टाइप से आप जो डिफरेंट टास्क होते हैं उसे यहाँ पर कंप्लीट कर सकते हैं। बिग लेवल का टास्क होता है वो भी यहाँ पर आप कंप्लीट कर सकते हैं। जैसा कि थोड़ा बहुत स्क्रॉल करके नीचे चला जाता हूँ तो आप देख सकते हैं काफी सारे यहाँ पर आपको टास्क देखने को मिल जाएंगे। तो इसमें से ज्यादा कॉइन्स वाला टास्क होता है वो भी यहाँ पर आप कंप्लीट कर सकते हैं। अभी मान लो कि आपको यहाँ पर गेमिंग इंटरेस्ट है तो वहां पर क्या करना है, गेमिंग के ऑप्शन पर क्लिक कर देना है। ढेर सारे आपको यहाँ पर टास्क देखने को मिल जाएगी। आप देख सकते हैं यहाँ पर 2 दिन तक आपको उसे यूज़ करना है। उसके बाद आप देख सकते हैं इसे आपको क्या करना है 28 मिनट तक यूज़ करना है। कोई भी एक गेम खेल लो, उसके बाद यहाँ पर जो है आधे घंटे तक यूज़ करेंगे तो आपको 9.1 यहाँ पर कॉइन्स है वो यहाँ पर मिल जाएंगे। तो इसी टाइप से ये एप्लीकेशन यहाँ पर वर्क करती है। अभी मैं फिर से यहाँ पर बैक चला जाता हूँ और यहाँ पर देख सकते हैं अगर आपको कोई भी इसमें से कुछ भी नहीं करना है तो आप यहाँ पर जो कुछ एड्स होती है उसे देख के यहाँ पर कॉइन्स इकट्ठा कर सकते हैं। वॉच वीडियो एंड अर्न कॉइन्स के ऑप्शन पर क्लिक कर देना है। जैसे वहाँ पर क्लिक कर देंगे आपके सामने इस टाइप का इंटरफेस देखने को मिलेगा। कोई भी एड्स आएगी आपको यहाँ पर क्या करना है, उसे यहाँ पर क्लोज कर देना है। जैसे क्लोज कर देंगे उसके बाद इस टाइप का इंटरफेस देखने को मिलेगा। जैसे यहाँ पर देख सकते हैं यहाँ पर एड्स आएगी उसके बाद जो भी यहाँ पर कॉइन्स होगा हमारे अकाउंट पे आ जाएगा। उसके लिए आप देख सकते हैं यहाँ पर 20 कॉइन्स मिला है। अभी गाइस सबसे ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट चीज आपको विड्रॉ करना है, किस तरह से करना है वो भी मैं आपको बता देता हूँ। तो कॉइन्स के ऑप्शन पे क्लिक कर देना है। जैसे वहां पर क्लिक कर देंगे उसके बाद रिडीम के ऑप्शन पे क्लिक कर देना है। जैसे रिडीम के ऑप्शन पे क्लिक कर देंगे आपसे सामने एक एड्स आएगी, उसे आपको यहाँ पर क्या करना है, क्लोज कर देना है। देखिए क्लोज का आइकन यहाँ पर आ चुका है तो मैं क्या करूंगा, क्लोज के ऑप्शन पे क्लिक कर दूंगा। जैसे क्लोज के ऑप्शन पे क्लिक कर दिया, इसमें से कोई भी कॉइन्स होते हैं उसे आपको यहाँ पर चॉइस कर लेना है। जैसे कि मान लो कि मुझे यहाँ पर चॉइस करना है, यहाँ पर चॉइस कर लिया। उसके बाद आप लोगों को क्या करना है, यहाँ पर और एक नया पोर्टल ओपन हो जाएगा। तो उस पोर्टल ओपन करने के लिए एड्स को क्लोज कर देना है। जैसे यहाँ पर करेंगे उसके बाद आपको क्या करना है, यहाँ पर अपनी UPI ID ऐड कर देनी है। जैसे UPI ID कोई भी ऐड कर देंगे उसके बाद सबमिट के ऑप्शन पर क्लिक कर देंगे। 3 से 4 घंटे में आपका यहाँ पर विड्रॉ जो होता है वो यहाँ पर सक्सेसफुली हो जाएगा। काफी सारे लोगों के विड्रॉ भी यहाँ पर सक्सेसफुली हुए हैं एंड प्ले स्टोर पे अवेलेबल है, इसलिए आप यहाँ पर इस एप्लीकेशन को यूज कर सकते हैं। इसमें आपको कुछ भी नहीं करना है, थोड़ा बहुत टाइम देना है। जैसे थोड़ा बहुत टाइम देंगे उसके बाद आप यहाँ पर जितने भी कॉइन्स इकट्ठा करेंगे वो आप डेफिनेटली एक दिन के अंदर एक विड्रॉ यहाँ पर लगा सकते हैं। एंड गाइज विड्रॉ हिस्ट्री पे जाता हूँ, आप देख सकते हैं काफी सारे मैंने यहाँ पर विड्रॉ भी लगाए। ऑलरेडी मेरे 2 अकाउंट है, इसमें मैंने ज्यादा से ज्यादा यहाँ पर कॉइन इकट्ठा किए। दूसरा अकाउंट भी मैं यहाँ पर आपको दिखा देता हूँ। देखिए इस अकाउंट को हम लोग क्या करते हैं, यहाँ पर लॉग आउट कर लेते हैं एंड दूसरे अकाउंट से भी मैंने काफ़ी सारे यहाँ पर विड्रॉ किए हुए। इसे फिलहाल मैं लॉग आउट कर देता हूँ। उसके बाद दूसरा अकाउंट है उसे भी मैं यहाँ पर आपके सामने ही लॉगिन कर रहा हूँ। देखिए मैंने यहाँ पर क्लिक कर दिया, उसके बाद देखिए दूसरा अकाउंट भी मैंने यहाँ पर लॉगिन कर लिया है। जैसे ही लॉगिन कर दिया आप देख सकते हैं यहाँ पर उस अकाउंट पे भी काफ़ी सारे कॉइन्स पड़े हुए हैं। तो इसे मैं क्या करता हूँ, स्किप कर देता हूँ। देखिए मैंने स्किप कर दिया एंड देख सकते हैं उस पर 30,000 कॉइन्स पड़े हुए हैं। इसे भी मैं यहाँ पर विड्रॉ कर सकता हूँ। तो इसी टाइप से आप इस एप्लीकेशन को यूज़ कर सकते हैं। लिंक मैंने डिस्क्रिप्शन में दे दी एंड मेरा जो रेफर कोड है वो यूज़ करेंगे तो और भी यहाँ पर थोड़ा बहुत आप पर कॉइन्स जो होते हैं उसका बेनिफिट्स आपको मिल सकता है। उम्मीद करता हूँ छोटा सा वीडियो आपको पसंद आया होगा। अगर वीडियो पसंद आए वीडियो को लाइक कर देना, चैनल पे नहीं तो सब्सक्राइब कर देना, ताकि दोस्तों आपको हमारी चैनल पे इस टाइप के वीडियो नेटली देखने को मिलते रहेंगे। आज के वीडियो में बस इतना ही, के साथ फिर से मिलता है, तब तक के लिए जय हिंद, वंदे मातरम।